Do not give dogs what is holy, and do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you. I find those verses interesting where they're placed. I didn't really understand it until you put them all together. What Jesus is telling you, he's warning you, he said, deal with the log in your own eye before you deal with the speck in your brother's eye. Then he's saying, don't cast your pearls before swine or pigs, and do not give dogs what is holy. Be careful of trying to help people with the specks in their eyes, because some of them like their specks. I didn't really understand this until I started pastoring. And then you start to realize sometimes the Lord's asking you to stick your nose where it doesn't belong. And other times he's saying, stay out of it. And when to know which is not always easy. It's not always easy, right? And I think as a parent, you've also learned this as well, right? As your kids start to age and mature, there are areas in your children's lives where when they were little, right, small, you're called to take care of every speck and every log, right? Because you're helping them learn to examine their heart. But as they age and mature, and especially as they get out of the house, you're going to relate to them differently. Sometimes you're going to have to keep your mouth shut and let your child figure out that they have a log in their eye. And as hard as it is to watch it, right? And I'm only using that as an example because that's the one. But you have friends like this, right? This is where Jesus is talking about judging the logs and the specks. And he's saying that on purpose because he's like, say, take the log out of your own eye, and then you'll know where to cast your pearls, and also help people and know the dogs and the swine versus the ones that really want help. It's one of the toughest things to do as you continue to mature. We're talking about, there's a project going on that I know we'll talk about down the road, that trying to help people, that we're going to help others. We're going to help people in Van Wert who struggle with housing. We're going to figure a few things out. There's some cool stuff we're working on. I promise you I'll talk about the details soon. But in that, there was a discussion we had, and they said, well, how do you know who to help and not to help? And it's never easy, right? Where are you helping someone and enabling someone? And it is a tough line to figure out. It's not easy, right? And it doesn't matter if someone's homeless. It doesn't matter if someone needs a meal. And it doesn't matter if it's your own family members, right? Where is that line where you're helping and enabling? And that's where Jesus is saying. He's saying, listen, here's the log and here's the speck. Take the log out of your own eye before you get the speck out of someone else's. And oh, by the way, do not give dogs what is holy, and do not cast pearls before swine. He is not calling people dogs and pigs. It's people act like dogs and act like pigs. Dogs are selfish, right? They're territorial. This is what I've learned, right? Most dogs are territorial. You ever had a dog? Territorial, man, that's mine, don't touch it. Pigs, they'll eat anything, and they will not value us what is good and what is bad. So, what the Lord is saying here, I find this very interesting. I didn't put these together until I really sat down and listened to it, but it's not an accident. You think Jesus was like saying one thing about a speck and a log, and then he talks about dogs and pigs, and he's like, you think he just did that by accident? He did not. They're connected. You can sit there and pull the log out of your own eye and the speck out of someone else's, but what he's telling you is when you pull the speck out of somebody else's eye, know which one is going to act like a dog and which one's going to act like a pig and which one's going to actually hear you. So what you know about dogs is dogs are territorial. That is mine, don't touch it. So the minute is, when you're pulling a speck out of somebody's eye, they're going to bite you because that's their territory, even though you're trying to help them. Pigs will eat anything. I don't know about you, if you ever sat there and fed pigs slop, you throw stuff down, they eat anything. They don't care if it is the best made Thanksgiving dinner or leftovers from months ago. They don't know the difference between what is good and what is bad. They just eat it. What Jesus is trying to tell us as believers is that when you take the log out of your own eye and you go to inspect the speck in your brother's to help, know which one wants help and know which one are going to be dogs that bite and pigs that consume everything. Dogs that bite, that hurt, or people that will take up all of your time and never, ever change. Have no intention of changing. They just want to take up all your time.